1960s and early 70s were a golden era for sports car racing. 6 wins for Ferrari, then 4 for Ford, before the Porsche 917 took 2 wins going head-to-head with the Ferrari 512 in races made famous by Steve McQueen's epic Le Mans movie. A change of regulations ended the era as sports car engine sizes were cut from 5 litres to 3, but Porsche's 2.1 litre turbocharged 936 took a hat-trick of wins. Their GT-based 935 would add 1 more, before another set of rule changes were introduced in 1982, and the golden decade of Group C was about to start with Porsche first out of the blocks with their iconic 956. And now 40 years after Group C was born, Porsche has gathered its Le Mans legends together for a birthday bash. And guess who got an invite?
There are good days and there are very good days, and today is one of the most epic days ever in terms of cars and racing cars. Tiff's familiarising himself in the 1982 car that he... 1983 car. First time you sat in that since, I guess, Le Mans many, many years ago.
I got out of a Porsche 962 at Le Mans in 1993 and haven't even opened a door of one since.
And what does it feel like?
Weird. I'm trying to remember these dials.
Are you going to be right to drive it later? Because it's a bit daunting these days, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't want to make a fool of myself at this stage.
And when he says he doesn't want to make a fool of himself, that's because there's some incredible company here as well. They've got the whole lineup of Group C cars. Don't ask me which is which. I have done some homework, but there's some unbelievable machines here and some unbelievable drivers as well. If you pan over there, we got a couple that you might recognise. We're going to have a word with them a bit later. But if we have a little walk down the garage, we're in Leipzig, I beg your pardon. We're in Leipzig in Germany with Porsche at their experience centre, and it's just the most incredible array of cars you've ever seen. Le Mans history right here in terms of the cars and the drivers, actually. Tiff keeps telling me about his podium. He got a podium once in Le Mans, but we're with proper Le Mans winners. We're multiple Le Mans winners. And here's the history. Here are the cars that won those races all those years ago. Here's something else.
And talking of old legends, it was time for Tiff to get back in the driving seat.
The memories are already coming back. It's a nice long straight. Oh, the sound of that purring, powerful Porsche engine. Already after 1 lap, the weight of the steering is beginning to come back to me. We had to be brutally fit racing these cars. They were very hot to drive, heavy on the steering. When you're in this goldfish bowl, the sun used to come through, burning away. Oh, for goodness sake, if my body would handle it, I could just keep on going around here. This is just brilliant, so much fun. These cars have passed my life for 10 amazing years. I never got to race them as often as I'd like to. I always wanted to race them every race. But that podium at Le Mans made it all worthwhile.
And after Tiff composed himself, we caught up in the pit lane for a post-race debrief.
Talk us through it, Tiff. What's it like? Yeah, you had the microphone. I don't even need to be.
But all the years going back. But I just want to go back on track again. But Porsche want their track back again. Look, but I've just had the most amazing time driving a Porsche 962 after 30 years since I got out last time.
Talk us through this racetrack. Is it one of your favourites?
No, it's a modern day test facility, I guess, but too many tight corners. It doesn't flow. It's not fast enough. So many chicanes. I was getting tired. It was heavy steering on Porsche 956s. No power steering that we have these days. This is the reunion. 40 years, reunion of legends. 40 years of this amazing Porsche 956 962 model.
And Tiff wasn't the only old-timer Porsche had invited along to celebrate Group C's Big 4-0. We were in the company of racing royalty. 5-time Le Mans winner and Tiff's old teammate, Derek Bell. 2 times Le Mans winner and touring car star, Hans Stuck. And Formula 1 and Le Mans legend Jochen Mass, who I caught up with first for a trip down memory lane.
So I've been working with Tiff for a long time, but finally, a proper motor racing legend. Formula One, Le Mans, lots of other things. So you were leading 1975, that famous race, 1975 Grand Prix, German Grand Prix, where Niki Lauda had his awful crash. You're leading by 40 seconds.
No, that was in 76 when we started on slicks in the rain. You know, I mean, it was wet, but it was not desperately wet and da-da-da. And I said, put on slicks. They said, are you crazy? Everybody puts on rain tires. I said, put on slicks, please. Anyway, so we did that, and we started, and it was very drivable. And of course, I had the advantage after 2 laps already. That is, a more drier line developed. Plus, I had well-heated slicks. So the car was running well, and it had enough grip, and it, you know, I could pull away from everybody, and so on. So that was nice. And then suddenly all the red flags came up. And I thought, damn it, can't believe it. I was hoping, you know, the first German driver winning the Nürburgring after the war, and the last Grand Prix held at the Nordschleife, I would win. So anyway, I came to the pits and I said, what happened? Oh, accident. I said, who? Niki. I said, is he okay? This one of those. And so it was quite dramatic. So of course you can't say anything. Obviously you can't bitch about it. And so on. So poor Niki was lying in hospital in Mannheim with his burned wounds and all that. But his main danger was his lungs. He seared his lungs, and so on. So that was the bad point. But anyway, he got through all that, but it didn't help his life's development, obviously. But I mean, he was such a fighter, amazing, that he came fairly shortly after this dreadful accident. He came back in Monza in the rain, but he didn't have the strength really. So, you know, he had to stop after a few laps, and so on. So, but he was a real amazing man for that.
Well, what a golden era of motor racing. But I guess the million-dollar question, if you had to answer, what would you prefer to win, Le Mans or a Grand Prix race? What's better?
Both. No, I only won one Formula One race, which was Montjuic in Spain, in Barcelona, and so on, so which was a pity. But no, look, I mean, Le Mans is very important in the world, we know that, and so on. But I love to win Le Mans. But I love to win a Grand Prix too. So it's difficult to balance the two and say, I prefer this one over the other. No, I don't. You know, you try to win as much as you, yeah, sure, anyways. And so it's, you know, it's part of racing. So you do your best, and you know, it either works or it doesn't. And sometimes it does.
Yeah, good stuff. Good to talk to you.
Thanks.
Thanks, bud.
Okay.
Someone else who raced in the danger days was Hans-Joachim Stuck, and it turns out he and Tiff had a bit of history.
So, Stucky, when we go out racing, I race, Tiff has the microphone, and we do Caterham racing. This is a slightly different level, I think, with the likes of you, racing legends. And the question for you, I guess, is, I've heard a little story from Tiff that you hassled him when he had this amazing podium, 3rd place, and he was tears in his eyes, and you were hassling him in your Porsche on the final lap.
Yeah, because we had the order to go in the top of the field, you know, for the photo finish, and I couldn't take care about what's going on there. But it was quite a memorable moment, you know, because I mean, you never know actually what can happen. It went well, thanks to God, thanks to him, thanks to Tiff, and we both had a good success. So that was the main thing, you know.
But what was your most memorable experience? Because you come from a history of motor racing, your father as well. What's your most memorable? Let's talk about Le Mans. We're here with Porsche Group C cars. Your most memorable Le Mans, I guess, is...
Yeah, I was definitely in the second win in '87 when I had to do 4 stints in a row, believe it or not. I mean, normally do two stints, very rare, sometimes a 3rd stint. But in the second stint, it started to rain down at Mulsanne. And then Peter Falk asked me, the race director, Hans, can you stay another time in the car because you know where it's wet and you're gaining time on the Jaguar? Sure, I can do it. No, so I made my pit stop, did the 3rd stint. It still rained a little bit. And then Peter Falk asked me, Hans, can you do a 4th stint? And the maximum driving time in Le Mans was 4 hours. I did it. They brought me in after 3 hours, 55 minutes. But I tell you one thing, I was so dead getting out, you know. I couldn't feel my legs, couldn't feel my arms, because this was a hard time of racing. Yeah. But this was the basic for our second win, so it was definitely worth doing it.
Yeah, I should say. And tell me, do you prefer the Mulsanne straight, chicanes or no chicanes?
I did it both. I did it with and without chicanes, you know.
Which was better?
I would say without, because a little bit more time to rest, and doing speeds about 400 at night. And the funny thing was when you went, there was this normal white interrupted lines like on a normal land road, and when you did more than 370, it just optically looked like one white line. So you knew when you see one line now, be careful, it's getting fast now. It was really, really cool.
And final question, this Needell bloke, Tiff Needell, is he any good? Can he race at all back in the day?
Yes, for sure not because he's sitting here now. I always had lots of respect for him. He was a great racer, is still a great racer. And what I think is important was a very fair and a great guy to race with.
I just never got to drive a Rothmans Porsche.
Not my fault. not my fault.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
And last but not least, it was time to talk to Tiff's old teammate, the one and only Derek Bell.
So one of the most amazing drivers ever to come out of Great Britain, 5 Le Mans wins. But I think the most memorable, according to my reliable source, Tiff Needell, is when he beat you in 1990 in a car that you could have been driving. That must be up there in your memories.
I don't think it is, actually, no. I didn't know he ever did that, did he?
He did. I think it was a bit of a fluke, to be honest with you. But what is your most memorable experience? Because you've been there, done it.
I know I did enjoy driving with Tiff, actually. He was funny. A couple of times he didn't bring it home, but we did try.
Because you two were teammates a lot of times, especially in Japan.
Yes, we enjoyed that. And we went in a very quick car, but, we're all making excuses. It was the end of the era, really, for the 962s. But, no, we had some great times over there. It was fabulous. It was very nice of him to include me on the team.
Well, I don't know about that. But one thing is, you always look amazing. You look impeccable. And you're a little bit older than Tiff as well. You look younger than him.
I thought so too, actually. But no, I've had an easy life, 26 Le Mans, I mean, it's nothing, is it really? But no, I've had a wonderful life and great teammates, great cars. And, the reason we're here today is because of Porsche. And without them, I don't think you'd be asking me any questions at all, actually. But, I did a lot of, races here. And, of course, I raced in the States with Al Holbert. And, Jochen was over there racing. I mean, we all had wonderful careers thanks to the 962.
Special car, special memories.
Yeah, I mean, you just can't fail, can you? They did so much for us. They did so much for the sport, and I think made Group C the greatest sports car era we've ever seen, and probably will ever see.
I'll drink to that. Thanks, Derek.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Thanks.
Between them, these guys have driven tens of thousands of laps in Porsche's Group C creations around the world and then around the clock. So what does it feel like to master the machine? Well, I can't tell you that, but for one lap only, I was about to get a taste of what these incredible cars are all about.
Bloody hell, what am I doing? This is just one of the most incredible bucket list things I've ever done. Driving a Porsche Group C Le Mans winning car. In fact, it's not just any Le Mans winning car, it's the first ever car to win Le Mans as a Group C car. This is just incredible. I cannot believe what the boys have managed to sort out for me. Truly incredible. A little bit of heel and toe. Oh, just don't tick over it, just sounds incredible. What an unbelievable experience. Tiff Needell, I flipping love you. Little downshift.
around Le Mans. This actual car. I just want to keep going and going. That was just the most incredible thing I think I'll ever do on track in my whole life. Do I have to stop?
Yes.
Do I have to stop? Just a few more laps. Amazing.
Porsche 956 Le Mans winning car driver, Paul.
Just incredible. What an experience. It ended far too quickly, but I'll savour that moment forever, for the rest of my life. Incredible.
But there was one more surprise and I managed to get back on track, this time with a few mates, and in true Le Mans spirit, we drove into the night.